Good morning. I wanted to ask you, what's your reality? What is your perspective? How do you look at things? Because what you guys don't realize is you create your own reality. And what it is, it's a mindset, it's perspective. You know, the Wright brothers were told over and over and over again by other people that humans can't fly. And you know what they did? They took out they went out to a piece of land that was covered in sand, and that's where they decided to do their attempts to fly. But in their mind, they had to make it safe because they knew they were going to fail. So what I'm saying is they prepared for failure. The end game or the end goal, the result they wanted to accomplish was to prove that humans could fly. But what they did is they set themselves up knowing that there was going to be a path of failure before they reached the success level and was able to fly. So they made it safe for their failure. You know, they crashed and burned in the sand, right? So you got to think about this. If your failures, if you're going to fail 98% of the time, a lot of people in their mind, it's not worth it to fail, right? If you're only going to succeed 2% of the time, what's the point? I mean, that's human nature. That's the question you're going to ask yourself. But put it all in perspective. If the outcome of the 2% outweighs the 98% of failure, then it's a win-win, right? So even investing, if you fail 98% of the time, or you're starting a business and you fail 9 out of 10 times, the thing is, when you win, does it outweigh the price of failure? So you got to put it all in perspective. If you believe you can't do something, then absolutely you are correct. You can't do it because that is your reality. But if you believe that you can, on the other hand, and you don't let the can'ts, I won't, impossible get in the way, you'll be able to achieve those goals. Now, you might fail along the way. In fact, most startup businesses do fail. 1 out of 10 succeed. You might fail 9 times, but if you don't keep going, if you don't keep persisting, if you don't keep trying, you aren't going to get that one win that's going to make a difference. Thomas Edison, 999 failures. And then finally, he created the incandescent light bulb. I mean, he never gave up. He persisted. And then it was a win-win. What if he'd have gave up? Either we wouldn't have lights or somebody else would have come up with the idea and got it figured out, right? The fact is, though, he didn't give up and he kept going and kept persisting until he got it done. Robert Kiyosaki, he had many failing businesses. Look him up. He wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and he was able to retire early. He retired earlier, a very wealthy man, more so than people that have invested money and set money aside for retirement and whatnot. So keep that in mind. Even though he had failures, he kept going and kept pushing until he did succeed. Guys, that is huge. Expect failure, but don't be scared of failure. Fear is your worst enemy. Overcome fear. You can overcome any obstacle. You will succeed. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not next year, but it will come. Just don't give up. There's a book or story, 3 feet from failure, 3 feet from gold. 3 feet from gold, that's it. There was a prospector, and then I'm going to leave it at this. He bought the equipment. He had found gold, and he bought the equipment and invested time and money to find the mother lode, and he gave up. He thought he made a mistake. It was a fluke, so he stopped and gave up. The person that sold him the equipment knew he was onto something, bought the equipment back, of course at a lower price, hired somebody to help him survey the land, and they moved 3 feet over from where the fellow was that failed, and guess what? They hit the mother lode, they hit the gold, they hit the jackpot. Guys, you're just this close to a win-win. So never give up. Don't let fear stop you. Overcome the fear and know there's failures. There's going to be no's. There's going to be obstacles. But know if you don't give up, you'll make it on the other side and you'll succeed. God bless everybody.